Eyes up, Guardians. This is episode 40 of DNA Weekly Strike, DNA's all Destiny show. I'm your fire team leader, Corey Derrick, and joining me, Joey Pease, Brian Anderson. What's up, guys?
Not much.
I'm excited. 2 weeks till Rise of Iron.
You know the one thing I like about
Less
us,
than 2 weeks.
Destiny related, is that when we play Destiny, we're each one of, you're a Titan, I'm a Warlock, he's a Hunter.
I know.
Picked all three of them.
I know.
It kind of worked
It's almost like we did that on purpose.
But we didn't.
I know.
I didn't even know
It
you
just never
guys.
worked out like that.
I didn't know you guys
I know.
when I started playing.
I started
Destiny,
playing a Titan because I was like, oh, I'm going to play this like Halo. This isn't Halo.
I thought I would just pick the best class right off the bat.
But
So,
I'm like...
that's what I did.
I'm actually really liking the Warlock, though. Like, going through and playing.
Every class has its,
perks.
Yeah. Perks.
But, like, I've also been playing as a Hunter a little bit, just to,
I
like,
think
mess
the
around.
Hunter's the best in Crucible.
Because I know when Rise of Iron
I
comes
can
out...
agree with that.
When Rise of Iron comes out, we're getting that 40 spark, so I'm just going to use it on my Hunter.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've been playing around a little bit. I actually really like the Hunter a little bit. I like the jumps. The jump is very precise.
Yeah, and so I feel like you have a lot more control with the jumps.
Yeah. They're an agility-based class.
Right.
So
Right.
they should feel the best out
Right.
of all of them.
Right.
And then somehow, people know how to make their Titans super fucking fast with the jump. How you can jump and then right before you land, you jump again. You can
Yep. That's what I do.
Titan skating.
The Titan skating, that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Titans are faster than they should be, which is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. But your recovery is real low when you do that. That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
And your armor is like... The way I run my Titan is like my armor's like halfway,
It's
my
like
recovery is the lowest, and my agility is pretty high.
Titan, armor-based, Warlock recovery,
Mm-hmm.
Hunter agility.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can
You can do whatever you want.
do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
the majority of the perks are set up that way.
Yeah, I mean, but you still can't max out.
I can't
armor.
max out the recovery on like a Warlock, or I'm sorry, on a Hunter, but I can make it decent.
Right.
I can get it at least a little, like to half a little bit, but and I can get their armor up. Like every class has like two things that they can usually get up pretty good.
Right.
And then that one is sacrificed. Hunters is recovery, Titans is agility, and I believe Warlocks is armor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may have noticed that we took this out of the podcast since we have a new structure for the DNA podcast. We've been kind of messing around with the formula for DNA Weekly Strike for a while. It started out as mine and Brian's Destiny podcast. And then when there wasn't really anything to talk about, we kind of changed it into like a short form show where we would answer a question from the community or we would end up skipping it altogether. For a couple weeks, and then we tried messing around with it with the Division when it came out. That didn't work out so well, obviously.
Because the Division sucks.
And then we decided to try to implement Overwatch into Weekly Strike, but then we found out that Overwatch on its own does really well for us, so we gave it its own show. So now we're kind of turning DNA Weekly Strike into a 25 to 30 minute show like we used to do.
Until we run out of things to talk about.
Well, then it'll just be a shorter show.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of the deal with Weekly Strike. It's going to come out on Thursdays on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Digital Nerd Advocates Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. But you're also going to be able to get the audio version of this soon. So make sure you look for it on all major podcast platforms. So just to update you on what's happening with this show specifically, it's going to coincide with a bigger project that we're going to launch in late October. We're just trying to streamline everything before we launch that project. So hope you like the new format / old format, but let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to talk about is Archon Forge. It's the new kind of public event area space thing that's happening.
It's a cord mode.
Giant hammer.
Basically, it's a mix between. I would compare it more to like Halo's firefight mode, mixed with Court of Oryx, and then there's
it's kind of like horde mode in Gears.
Yeah. That's what firefight in Halo is. I just compared it to Halo because
you didn't play firefight in Halo.
Brian didn't play Halo.
Is a giant flame hammer like a gravity hammer? Am I gonna hit the ground and go?
No, it's like Swords were in year one, I think,
okay.
where it just appears on the map and you can use it for a short amount of time, or like Scorch Cannons.
It's like Scorch Cannons,
Yeah. So we're going to go into a little bit of details on...
Hopefully better. No one ever picked up the Scorch Cannon.
I know. It did. I mean, in Prison of Elders, remember we were like, please be heavy ammo.
Please be heavy.
Please be heavy.
It's
freaking Scorch Cannon. And then when we would matchmake, the third person would always go grab the Scorch Cannon and be like, you're welcome. We don't want it.
I'm good. I'll take my primaries.
So Archon Forge is located deep in the Plaguelands in the new patrol area that's coming with Rise of Iron. It has been described as a cross between other arena-type modes already in Destiny, Prison of Elders, and Court of Oryx. Players will reach Archon Forge inside a big flaming fortress hidden in the Plaguelands. They will kick off Destiny's closest version to the classic Horde mode, which we already compared it to. It's a wave-based mode of fallen enemies. In the last of the waves will be a boss. Defeating the boss will drop loot specific to Archon's Forge, so it'll be like the prison gear or Iron Banner gear, just specific to that mode, which like Prison of Elders, blah 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 blah. So what do you guys think about this? Like, do we really need another one of these modes after Court and Prison?
Yeah, I mean, actually, because
when
I read about this, it sounds like this is a very good way to level up your life.
Yeah, it'll pretty much be like Prison was when Prison first came out. They won't have to bring Prison back up like they did again. So this is like their way of introducing a new game content, using a kind of older formula but refreshing a little bit, so it's not going to be just the same thing again. Yeah. So I think
Court of Oryx was very cool when it first came out. And it was very helpful to the leveling up.
It's actually it was a really good way to get that 335 artifact if you were missing it too.
Well, I'm not talking about since the April update.
Right.
It's like, I'm talking before that.
Yeah, because before that, before you didn't have the 1-to-1 infusions, people
were using it and this sounds like this is a very good way, solid way to level up in light. Something you didn't bring up that I've just now seen is that if you die and respawn during this, you're kicked all the way back out to the entrance, which will be locked. It says the way getting around this is to wait for a friend or helpful stranger to revive within the forge. Whatever that. So I don't understand how.
So if it's a public,
I don't understand how that gets you back into it.
You don't respawn. You don't respawn yourself. You just wait for somebody to revive you.
Yeah. So
it's similar. It's almost similar to Court, whereas if you put the rune in, if you don't get across that threshold in time, I think that
right,
yeah. So
that's kind of cool. But like I said, it sounds like a very good way before the raid comes out and you're trying to get up in light, because it drops at the highest, so it'll keep dropping higher as you level up.
Right.
Is what it's saying.
Which is good.
So, and it sounds like you just sit there and keep playing it. I don't know if it'll be like the rune, because before with Court, we didn't understand the rune system right away. We had no clue how that was really worked. All we knew that there was a Court, there was something to do with these runes. We didn't know how to get them. We didn't know how they work.
You had these white ones that were stacking, these blue ones that weren't stacking.
So
what's going on here?
It doesn't say how are we gonna have to activate something? How many times can we run it? It doesn't say yet, but if you can just keep running it, which I doubt, I'm sure there's got to be a way they can limit it, so you can't just sit there and run it, which actually would be nice, because that's probably what I would do. But it sounds, that's cool. I think that's good stuff. And you asked, do we need a system like this? I think since there's a whole new update coming out, you need it, because you don't want to go and play Court. It's similar to Court, but it's different.
Right.
It's Horde mode, so it's a little different. It's a little different than Prison, a little different than Court, and you're going to get the gear that you need.
And it's going to be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
it sounds
anytime you can give me any good gear, I'm going to do it, except for Sparrow Racing.
But Sparrow Racing's so good. It's coming back.
Of course it is.
I got to finish that quest line.
I did the quest line and got my Sparrow Racing rep up to whatever it needed to be, and I never touched it afterwards. I think I got one 320 helmet, and that was
No, I'm actually excited for Archon's Forge. I think it's cool.
No, I think I agree. I always liked the Horde type gameplay. That's what I mean. I liked Prison. You hated it, but I had no.
I think Prison. I think Challenge of the Elders is a lot better than the way Prison used to be. To be honest.
Okay, and maybe that's why, because I never actually played.
I
didn't play the actual the year one hard version of Prison. I only ever did the easy version of Prison and the what they added now.
I feel like the rewards weren't worth my time. So this will be good for a certain amount of time, And then eventually I will not want to do Archon Forge. Just like I don't need to do court anymore. I'm
Well,
I'm not going to go and just randomly do Court of Words.
the Game Informer crew, where this information came from, that was their big cover story last month. They went in with characters at like a 360 light build, and they were having a challenging time doing this. So I wonder if this is going to be like... I wonder how high a light level you're going to have to be to make this like not challenging. I wonder if the light scales.
It might.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm interested in it just because it doesn't. It seems like almost an easier version of Prison, like in terms of not objective base. You're just going in, killing enemies, and hoping that you guys succeed.
Well, also what it sounds like is that there's like at first you're just going in and there's no boss. You're just killing enemies that have spawned, right?
Right.
So it's just all enemies. And then if you kill enough of them quickly, if you can clear out the waves fast enough, then a boss will spawn.
So you have to be able to kill them quick enough?
So
they're not just going to spawn.
It almost sounds like
I'm not saying that's going to be easier in court, because in court the boss was just there.
Right.
So
it almost sounds like when the Taken invade an area on a planet.
Yeah,
you have to take out the Taken, and then the boss spawns. Yeah, that's almost what it sounds like. So there, before we move on, there is a little bit of lore for Archon's Forge. Archon's Forge plays off the Fallen hierarchy system. A fallen foot soldier has to scavenge for a piece of Siva technology to prove his worth to his house, and then he offers it up at the Archon's Forge in order to earn the right to fight and improve his standing. So, in effect, you will find these Siva pieces that trigger the start of a fight, and you're stomping all over the Fallen Ascension rituals. So basically... What?
You're just kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Basically, we're playing the bad guy here, and like all this little Fallen guy wants to do is bring a Siva thing back to his house, and you're like, no, it's mine.
Yep, pretty much.
So... Final thoughts on Archon Forge before we move on to how Xur is changing.
Excited? Yes.
I think it looks fun.
That kind of surprised me, Brian, that you're excited. Just based on your Prison of Elders thing.
Well, he was saying he didn't like Prison because he wasn't
excited
getting
to get the gear.
Right.
That's what I'm excited for.
He won't like playing it later on.
No, I will not play it. Like I'll still do a strike here and there, and like I'll still raid, even though I do not need a single thing from it right now. Just because that's like fun. I will not do this once I am not getting gear that's going to improve me. If that makes sense. Like I still play Iron Banner. I don't need anything from it. That's fun. I still play Trials. I'm not really going to get anything from that I need. That's fun.
Yeah.
This will be fun at first.
Yeah.
And then I will not like it, just like Prison. But if I keep getting gear that's going to improve me, I will continue to play it.
Yeah. And the way like the loot system has worked out recently since the April update, like where it's almost like tiered off, like you're this light level, so you get this gear. It
that's what it sounds
kind of feels like it's going to work better that way than like Prison used to. All right, so we're going to move on. Like I said earlier, Game Informer's big info dump last month on Rise of Iron. We're going to not go over everything, but we're going to go over kind of how Xur is changing a little bit. Not really too interesting, but you're going to be able to buy a rotating stock of ornaments using a new currency called Silver Dust.
More currencies.
Yeah. At least
not excited about that.
No. So Radiant Treasure rewards, which are the new Sterling Treasures, are the way that you can you convert Radiant Treasure into Silver Dust for use at Eververse, in which Xur will be selling ornaments for Silver Dust. Make sense?
Yep.
Sure.
Cool. Ornaments can also be obtained without any Silver Dust or real money. Silver Dust will only be used to buy select items. Silver isn't being replaced with it. So basically, Silver Dust you buy with real money, but you can also find it out in the wild, I guess.
Isn't that what silver was supposed to be like originally?
Well, again, this stuff is just cosmetic, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can even buy, I guess, like, Eververse, you can buy ornaments from her directly as well.
Yeah.
Though they're not like the cool ones. Xur sells the cool ones. But, I mean, I guess if you're looking for something just for fun, it's going to be like emotes, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what do you guys think of the ornaments? Do you think it's a cool system?
Yeah.
Some of them look cool.
Yeah.
I do, actually.
I don't want to have to pay any real money for them, but if I can earn them in game, then
Yeah, as long as I can earn them in game, I'm fine.
Xur is still going to sell 3 of coins, and everything else is unchanged for Xur.
And 3 of coins is also unchanged.
Yeah. So basically, that's kind of how Xur is going to be in year 3. He will not appear at Fellwinter's Peak because they feel everybody should be able to access Xur on the weekends, and you actually have to battle your way into Fellwinter.
Yeah, you don't just start like the other ones where you just fly there.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
I wonder how that mission's going to work out. I think that's going to be cool. Fellwinter Peak looks cool.
Do you work Tuesday? Are you off on Tuesday? Are you off the day that this comes out?
I requested off that day. I am off.
Okay. Because we just need to like knock all this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can probably play too.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do. Maybe.
So
You sure this isn't too much fantasy?
your leftover bounties and quests will not autocomplete like they did with the Taken King when it came out. And strikes are changing. The playlists are changing a little bit. So you're getting Heroic Siva Crisis and Siva Crisis strikes, which revolve around the new strikes.
Mm-hmm.
The Taken War, which revolves around the Taken King content, and then Legacy, which is pretty much year 1. So
It says weekly heroics will work without buying Rise of Iron. You just won't get the new strengths.
right. So that's kind of a few of the changes I wanted to talk about. Any other things you guys want to?
I know because I've been doing this, but there's no comment on whether Hoarded exotic engrams will drop year 3 exotics.
Yeah.
But they still recommend that you do it.
Yeah, that's weird. I feel like that's something they would know.
They also aren't saying if they're going to decrypt at the base levels or like the 330. Like the highest I can get right now is 335. I do not know if they will drop. Like maybe they won't drop year 3s, but they'll drop me higher like year 2s. They don't know yet, but it's better to be. I mean, there's no point in me using them right now.
Especially if you have all the exotics
Right.
and you're already at 335, so there's no point.
Yeah. Also, faction packages will give you a choice between armor, weapons, or chroma gear.
And I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time. So
There's really nothing else.
I'll take the chroma gear until I get every single piece of the chroma
I
gear.
did want to
and
talk
I'll
about
take
this,
weapons.
Corey. I don't know if you saw it. They asked that if they're going to be bringing old raids and content up to be more relevant, it's still something they talk about and may happen in 2017.
yeah, which
we have said a lot in the past.
I know.
Like
if they bring Vault up,
oh
my
goodness.
gosh, dude,
That's-
and like. Because that raid is so much fun. I mean, I think we talked about trying to do the old raids before Rise of Iron comes out.
Yeah.
Just to have it on our YouTube page and as kind of like a nostalgia thing. But man, Vault is so good.
Vault's just good, even though now it's you just walk through and your
I know.
eyes closed. But
I know, but it's still
fun.
You can't get year 2 trials armor anymore. Gunsmith weapons will be based on the new light level. New achievements and trophies and Grimoire. The Grimoire cards will reveal a lot of story about the Iron Lords, and an in-game Grimoire may happen in the future, which would be good because, like, the Grimoire is interesting, but not interesting enough for me to bust out my laptop in the middle of the game. Oh, I unlocked a card. What's
There'll be
this?
times when I'm like surfing the Destiny subreddit and people will mention stuff that has to do with the lore, and I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I wish I would have learned that from the game.
Yeah. There's a cool unannounced secret in Fellwinter Peak.
Oh.
I wonder what that is. Do you guys think they're going to do like an exotic quest like they did with Sleeper Simulant and...
I thought that was going to be like for
The quest or
Gallahorn or whatever.
Oh, maybe. I think there will be something. They're not because they're gonna do.
Or like Black Spindle.
They'll try to
That
add
was
something.
cool.
Yeah,
the
That
Black
was
Spindle
cool.
they're gonna try to add at least one exotic like that. I
just
mean, they
remember,
might not
like-
do as many as they
I'm
did. in this
surprised
I
they
just remember
did-
like people blowing up my phone like, dude, did you hear about this Black Spindle? Do you know how to get it? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Because
Because
like, I mean, there was the Black Spindle quest. There was the No Time to Explain. There was the Sleeper Stimulant, the Exotic Sword quest. You see, we had like at least 4 different.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't add more. Like,
oh, the Touch of Malice. That's
Yeah.
another one.
Black Spindle was like completely.
yeah, I meant like
Yeah.
secret ones like Black Spindle.
Oh.
like,
That was secret.
I'm so surprised we didn't get more of that. And like that and the Sleeper Stimulant were really the only 2 like quote secret quests.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just really excited. I don't really know. I'm not like as excited for this as I was taking King.
Oh no, I'm not either, but I'm still excited. I'm still excited for the new raid. I'm excited to explore the new missions and stuff, and I'm just excited. I'm not like super excited.
Anytime there's new gear dropping, I'm obsessed. That's why I play this game, is to get better stuff, and then bitch about what I don't get. It's always fun.
Finally, the launch time is confirmed for 5 a.m. Eastern.
Yep.
For Rise of Iron on the 20th, so
I'll be up.
I'll be setting my alarm for 5 a.m.
Oh, I'll just still be up.
I was going to say, depending on the day, I might still just be
I'm
awake.
just still gonna be up. I do not work.
You also have until 4:59 a.m.
to pre-order.
Eastern time to get your moments of triumph. So get that.
okay.
So get that in.
I'm done.
Yeah,
We did it!
I'm done too.
He doesn't like you.
Fine.
There's a cool unannounced secret in Fellwinter Peak. You said
He
that.
said
though.
that.
I said that.
I wasn't listening.
I know. It's all right.
I was looking.
I want to know what that secret is. Can
Yeah,
you pet
I
the
know.
wolves? Can you pet the wolves?
Do that again?
Can you pet the wolves? This is a pet simulation.
Okay.
Pet.
That was like I don't know.
That was more of a.
All right.
Never mind.
New trophies and achievements.
Woo! Woo! I didn't
If you're
even
a trophy person.
I used to be. I used to be.
You cannot get year 2 trials armor anymore.
He said that.
Yeah.
You should listen.
The Kvastov quest will be available day 1, though. That's cool. I'm interested in that
if
weapon.
you have the parts, the weapon.
I'm interested in
The
that.
weapon parts, Corey.
How many weapon parts do you need?
More than what he has.
Dude,
You got like
I've
10.
acquired a lot of weapon parts since starting these new characters.
Yeah, that's true. You
I
get a
have
bunch.
no armor scraps. Like, I'm out of armor
I
scraps.
know. I don't have any armor either.
You guys can start.
So
How?
okay, mail from the tower. The postmaster has mail for us.
Does he? Is it one of those the treasure cubes that I open
Yep.
up and I get a chroma?
You press
piece of
square and
green?
it's just like, oh, you got pink and orange chroma, cool. All right, so friend of show, Todd Oxtra. He's a Waverly Guardian. He comes in.
Put it lightly.
He leaves. He comes in. He's very concerned about Rise of Iron.
Why?
Todd Oxtra asks, will lapsed Destiny fans be able to enjoy the Rise of Iron, or should I just wait until Destiny 2?
My honest opinion is he will probably not enjoy Rise of Iron.
Here's the thing.
If you have not gotten
Based-
any enjoyment out of anything that's come out of Destiny so far, I don't know what makes you think that all of a sudden this is going to change.
Here, Todd, let me tell you.
I'm just trying to be straight with him. He doesn't have the time to raid.
That's like the big appeal of this expansion, right? This and the new Iron Banner gear and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, they're going to give you stuff to do, and you can still do all the stuff from the Taken King. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do without raiding, and I think the changes that they made to infusion, to loot drops, to the light level your loot drops at, I think there's a lot to do without raiding that you can enjoy this game.
Here's my question to you then. If you knew for a fact that you probably weren't going to do this raid that was coming out, would you buy it? Would you buy this expansion?
Well, yeah, because
To
I
do
still,
what? The Archon Forge?
I still enjoy Destiny. I still enjoy it.
Do the strikes.
I
Yeah.
would not. Me personally.
I can do the strikes. I can do Archon's Forge. I can do Prison of Elders. I can do Iron Banner.
Well,
I
let me
can
ask-
do Crucible. I can do the
But
campaigns.
let me ask you a question. Why do you do all those things? Why do you want to play and like all those things? What's the big picture?
To
For
get-
me, I enjoy those things because I know that I have a chance at getting something which is going to improve my life, which is going to improve my standing in the raid.
Right. Well, sometimes
If you know that that's not there at the end,
my friend
what do you want to have
Mitch
gear
from
for?
work made it to 335 only rating one time, and
Wow.
that's the only game that he owns. That and The Division are the only 2 games that he owns for Xbox One.
okay. So he's made it to 335.
And he still plays that game constantly.
Is that the goal?
Yeah.
For me, it's I want to play the raid and master the raid.
Right, but
everyone plays for
not
different
not
reasons.
everyone's in the same situation that we are, and not everyone plays the game for the same reasons.
Then let me ask you this for Todd: why has Todd backed out of the game? And I've seen him say this on Facebook.
I think Todd got frustrated because like people wouldn't take the time to walk through the raid with him during a whole week instead of everybody was trying to rush him through the raid in 2 hours, which I understand. Todd is a family guy. He's married. He has a kid. He has responsibilities like a real adult, unlike us who aren't really real adults. But and he has that small amount of time to play. And there's ways to raid, and there's plenty of groups out there. Dads of the Grind, Dad's Hideout. There's places where people in his situation go to have fun in Destiny, and they raid with each other, they do strikes with each other, they help each other get gear, level up, teach each other how to play and stuff like that. If he's concerned about the raid, there's ways for him, include he can come play with me in the secondary raid group that I play with. There's multiple ways he can play this game without raiding, and if he wants to raid, there's multiple ways he can do that as well. And it might take us 3 or 4 days to get through a raid, but it's still no less enjoyable, I think. And I think the part that scares not only Todd but a lot of people is that if the raid is the end goal and they don't have 6 people to get together all at the same time to raid, then why would I bother playing this game?
Which is what I'm trying. Is a good question. I mean, we barely have 6.
Yeah.
And if we didn't, I don't know if and I'm a hardcore.
We barely have
fan.
6, even when we do have 6.
I know. If I wasn't able to do the raid, I would not want to. I probably wouldn't put the time in to play Rise of Iron. But that's me. And I do think you have good points with what you're saying there. There are different ways to play this game and raid and everything. But I just feel like, from what I've seen, that he's backed out because he hasn't been able to raid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, and how it also depends on how much enjoyment does he get out of it before he gets to that point where he doesn't want to play it anymore. You don't necessarily need to play Destiny from the point when that expansion comes out till the next expansion to be able to get your money's worth. I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of people too get so caught up into we have to level up so fast within the first 3 days so we can raid.
They forget to enjoy the game.
Yeah, and they just forget. That's what I did with Taken King. Guess where my Titan is in the quest line? I'm just now getting to Venus on my Titan quest line for the story missions.
Seriously?
Because I was so obsessed with trying to level up, getting to court, and getting to the raid, getting through the raid, leveling up to 335, which I'm still not at because I can't get a freaking Titan mark because we can't get 6 people together.
Those are
in
the
the raid.
things that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
So I went through, made sure to do all the quests first.
I still have completed all the quests.
Yeah.
I mean, I've almost done. I've gone from 18 to 6.
Except for Sparrow Racing.
And Sparrow Racing's one of them, which I can't continue until December when it comes back.
So the only ones I haven't done were the Halloween ones that you had to do.
Yeah, I haven't done those either. But that's because I didn't get all the masks, and you had to pay money to get the masks, and I'm not doing that. That's dumb.
That's all I care about. Is being able to raid and be effective in trials and Iron Banner because level. Mm-hmm. Light matters. Mm-hmm. Those are the 3 things I care about most: is raid, trials, banner.
Mm-hmm.
Does light matter in banner?
Yep. Not as I don't think it matters as much as it does in trials though, because it's recommended 260 to be in Iron Banner right now, but it's recommended 310 to be in.
Maybe that's
trials.
why I used to feel like I was a god in Iron Banner.
Why? Because you were so over leveled.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, if you're a 333 and you're going against a 335, it's no difference.
No, but I mean, it was when
you first jumped
when
in,
310 was the highest. That was probably the first time I played Iron Banner, and I was 310 at the point.
Yeah. So I hope we answered your question, Todd. I know you have a limited amount of time, but if we're ever on together, you're always welcome to play with me and Joey and all of us.
I just think it's difficult. This is, again, just my opinion. We only have one night to play, us, because with our group, and if someone can only go for an hour, that kind of, I don't want to say screws the rest of the guys. I'm talking about in our situation, because then, well, then we should have just got somebody else, or
Right.
now we can't really do it. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough because if
We
you're playing
have-
Destiny
we
to
have
raid, it's
people
tough.
in our group who have kids and
Uh-huh.
and stuff, and they really can only play one night.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they only really do have a certain amount of time, so that's why, like, if you were to raid with us with that group, we would be pushing to get it done.
Yeah.
Because we know that this one specific person I'm talking about, you know, they work early, they have kids,
Uh-huh.
they can't stay on. It's like we are different. We
Yeah.
have a different situation where we can kind of
Yeah.
stay up, whatever.
I mean, we're podcasting at almost midnight right now
yeah,
to break
that's
break
how
the
we
fourth
roll.
wall. So, and look, we're wide awake. Wide awake.
Well, I work nights. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's tough. It depends on what you're playing Destiny for, and if you're playing for the raid, then maybe sit this out. But if you enjoy the other content that's available there, I mean, I still think it's worth checking out for $30. I think there's enough content there for $30 to check out.
You'll get more content from this game than you did from
Vanilla.
No Man's Sky
Oh.
I don't know.
for 60 or Vanilla Destiny. Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next question. Our good old friend CodFanFF on Twitter.
That's right.
Did we ever figure out what FF stands for? Did he tell us?
Final Fantasy!
Did he really tell us that?
No, that's what it is.
Oh,
I
man.
hate you guys.
Inside joke you guys are going to hear next week on the podcast, so stay tuned for that. Do you think that Bungie will struggle to balance the weapons in year 3 with the return of Gjallarhorn and Thorn?
Yes, because they suck at balancing weapons. Next question. Okay.
It's just tough because of how many guns they have in the game, and they all interact uniquely, and they do different things. That it's going to be really hard to balance them all.
I'm not saying that it's hard. But if
So there
you
are
play-
going to be ones that are
if
way
you
better
play-
than others.
And I'm talking like more so online, like as in Trials and Banner and just regular Crucible. Like right now, if you get into it, are you seeing a bunch of now? There's more than it used to be, but you're still seeing
The same
weapons.
Everyone's using a sniper except for like the one person in their team using a shotgun.
They really need to take off aim assist just 100%. Just take that shit off. That should not be on snipers.
Yeah.
You're either on their head. I don't need something helping people aim. I don't want any of that stuff.
Yep.
Because I feel like Trials it becomes snipers. That's it. And then
And grenades.
And grenades. Grenades I think need to be nerfed a little bit too. All of them.
So. Yeah, I still think it's going to be hard for them to do that.
I don't think
I
this Gjallarhorn isn't going to be as powerful as year one. It's
No.
going to be how it was. And Thorn.
No, but I still think everybody's going to try to use it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think those would be the two guns.
How's that any different than everyone and their mother? What rocket launcher is everybody using right now?
Truth.
Does it matter? I mean,
Or the
Gjallarhorn's-
raid machine gun.
Gjallarhorn's better. Yes, but like Truth is still pretty dirty, and that's what everyone's using right now anyway. So like, what balancing issue are you talking about? Everybody's gonna be able to get it. Everybody's using Truth right now. So what do you mean balancing issues when everyone's using one rocket launcher already? So now everyone's gonna use one rocket launcher now. It's not gonna matter.
I mean, I think he's saying he wants it to be balanced. It doesn't matter if you use that rocket launcher or a different weapon. You can still do well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get there will be some weapons that are going to be better to use than others, and they don't necessarily need to make it so everyone can use every single weapon, because there are certain weapons that aren't good in Crucible situations, or they aren't good in PvE situations.
Yeah.
So they don't need to make them all the same, but I think they could work a little bit better.
We will see what happens with the artifacts.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna have.
And
to
we'll
wait
see
and
how quickly they nerf the weapons if people are going to these weapons.
Well, I mean, people.
I don't think Thorn.
Because
I don't think Thorn's
Deej
gonna be
already
something
said he's
they have to
like,
worry about.
look, if people are saying you can't come with us on a raid if you don't have Gjallarhorn, we are nerfing Gjallarhorn. Like he said, it will be unusable.
Yeah, and that's fine by me.
I'm fine with that too.
Thorn.
I like that he says unusable
if
too.
it's any because if you can use year one Thorn in Crucible, because light doesn't matter, and you see how it works right now, it's not effective.
Mm-mm.
It's not. I mean, you can still get kills with it, but it's not nearly as effective as it used. I mean, holy crap, is it effective?
I mean, but that's because they completely reworked hand cannons.
Well, they completely reworked the poison effect too.
Oh, okay.
The poison
Yeah.
is not nearly as deadly. Plus, they have the artifact now, so even if they were to make the poison a little more deadly, that artifact, So no, I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, hand cannons aren't top, king of the hill anymore.
Yeah.
Like they used to be.
All right, we're gonna move on to our last mini topic here. Overall, how did the Taken King pan out for you?
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I think it was the best thing that they've done.
It was the first time I ever was actually able to raid, so I mean, it was an excellent time for me.
Yeah.
It was the best out of everything. The Taken King, Crota, whatever the one was before Taken King. What was that one? The House of Wolves. And even Vanilla.
Woofs.
It's fantasy.
Is there anything you would have liked to see changed in this expansion based on what they said before it came out?
I wish
You
they
mean with the new content?
I wish
or?
they'd go back to the way that they used to do trials with the matchmaking.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the new way, but that's just me personally.
What are your favorite moments from the past year of Destiny?
I'd say my favorite moment was the first time we took down the hard mode
yeah.
War Priest. Not even Oryx.
Oh,
just the
mine
first
was-
time we went in. I don't even think Corey was with us. I think
Yeah, because I was on vacation.
yeah, and I would just happen to be playing at the time, and you messaged me and were like, "Hey, we're trying to get a hard mode group together to try this out. You want to come in?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." We ended up.
It was hard.
Yeah, we were up until like 6 a.m, I think, trying to kill this thing.
Because I was in Disney when the hard mode raid came out.
Yeah, so that when we finally beat him after probably like 3 hours of just sitting there fighting him, it's pretty
Mine
fun.
was the first time that we beat Oryx. It wasn't even on hard, it was on easy. With you guys, because I actually had to join a different group. I don't think everyone was like high enough to like really take down Oryx yet, so I did it with a different group.
Yeah.
You know, without the touch of malice and all that crap. The first time I ever beat him. That part, I mean, it was okay, but the first time I beat it all with like our group was probably like my favorite.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite time was like that first time we all kind of did it as a group when we beat Oryx the first time.
Yeah.
And I took that picture on my phone, like Guardian waving at Oryx.
Like, there's
That's in the Guardian of the DNA fireteam page somewhere.
There's something special about finally beating him.
And like it
Even
was
on easy for the first time, you know, figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not so much like, oh, we took all his life down. It's, we figured out how to do it,
Right.
and we did it.
Right. And like it was different for me because this was the first time I went into a raid on the same level as you, because you had done Vault of Glass when it came out, you did Crota when it came out, and I didn't do it till later because I had kind of fallen off Destiny a little bit because I didn't quite understand how the game worked. And then, you know, when we decided to start doing this show, I came back and you took me through everything and you showed me everything, and like coming in at the same level as you, figuring it out with, you know, my good group of friends, and we just did it and we beat it, and it was just it was awesome.
It does feel good. I remember specifically, like, for some reason, like, the Crota one, too, on hard was very difficult at first. Now it seems like a piece of cake, but...
Yeah. Just go in there with like
Yeah, I mean, it was...
200s
like,
with some celestial.
even that one, when I first beat that one on hard, that one was a special feeling. Atheon, sort of, because by the time I beat him on hard, I was a little overpowered. The first time I beat him on easy, though, there were still like ways to glitch it.
By pushing him off the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you loot that?
Oh, you still got it. I mean, it's,
It just went to the postmaster?
it's not like when you beat Atheon, it wasn't like you ran up to him and grabbed
It
him.
wasn't the
Oh,
ingress.
right.
This was year one. It's just like you beat him and
You
then like
just
it would just
appear.
pop up on
Yeah.
the right side of your screen.
Yeah.
Vex Mythoclast for the 1,000th time, but no Gallahorn. I got so many of those Vex. I got at
Brian,
least.
remember when I got Gallahorn?
Yeah, I got at least 30 Vex Mythoclast though. I can't. Like, that was the gun that dropped for me. Like everyone has a gun that like drops for that.
Yeah.
Mine was that Gallahorn. Cause I know people who've gotten like 6, 7 Gallahorns
Yeah.
back in like year one.
Mm-hmm.
They're going another
I
Gallahorn.
got 3.
Like, shut the fuck up.
I got 3.
I got one.
I guess overall for the Taken King, I loved it, and then I was kind of disappointed at the lack of content dropping until April.
Well, part of the reason why it seems so underwhelming is I abused the shit out of 3 coins, because part of the fun for me is like trying to get all the exotics.
Yeah.
It's like that like, because like you were saying, So Todd's answer. There's a lot of different ways to play it, and one way is to like just try to get. For me, is like trying to get all the exotic
collecting.
stuff. Yeah, collecting stuff. And with that 3 coins, it really took away that aspect of the game from me. And I did it to myself, but like that's part of the things that like then I didn't need to do the.
You were
raid.
so excited when you were doing that though, because you're like, year 1 screwed me over. I'm doing this until they fix it.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was still so salty about like I'm not gonna let him fuck me again. But there really wasn't a weapon like the Galahorn, so it didn't matter. But
Sleeper simulant, dude. I don't know. I don't use it. Joey swears by it.
for what?
PvE. And killing any boss, it's godly.
He's not wrong.
I
Until the laser comes back and hits you.
That happened once.
I don't care for it. I'm running.
There was a Titan bubble. I accidentally got knocked into it because I think it was a Taken thrall came up and smacked me. Got knocked backwards into the bubble. The beam went off, and then I died. And I just started laughing. And Corey was like, "What happened?"
That was so
It's
funny.
like, well, you see.
That was funny. Oh man, anything else before we wrap this up?
Nope. Just
Alright.
can't wait for
Rise of Iron, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for joining the Fire Team this week. We hope you enjoyed the return to form of DNA Weekly Strike. Remember, you can find this video on youtube.com/Digital Nerd Advocates Network on Thursday mornings by noon Eastern. It's not really the morning, is it?
No.
No. So hopefully I will have it up by noon. But follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram at the DNA Network. Join the Guardians of DNA Fire Team Facebook group if you're looking for people to play with. There's, 110, 20 people in that group that are all willing to play with you guys. So, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing, what your thoughts of Taken King are, what you're excited for Rise of Iron. And yeah, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we're out.
Good hunting, Guardians.